Last month, one of my e-commerce brands made a little over $1.1 million, which was a decrease of about 20% from the month prior. My name's Hayden, I'm 25, I've been building e-commerce brands for a long time, and today I'm going to share with you some information about one of my supplement brands that I've been building and sharing details on. So before we jump into all of that, I wanted to just show you first that this is legit. Here is a refresh inside of the Shopify dashboard, 63% returning customer rate, all the orders fulfilled. We also sell on Amazon. That's where the remaining of that revenue came from. Very high margin sales over here. Now, what I want to talk about today is building off what I did last month and the month before, where I just transparently share with you what went well, what didn't, how we got here, and information on how we're going to scale. So you get to see a lot of good information from an actual operator who has a team and employees and spends a lot of money doing so. Cool? Drop a like. So the two big sales channels for this brand are Shopify and Amazon. These are the revenue numbers for the month. Increase by a little bit on Amazon and a pretty significant decrease on Shopify. We'll talk about that. We also sell a little on TikTok Shop. That's been slow. So last 90 days recap. If you're new here, subscribe, but the last 90 days if you don't know what's going on. June was 839,000. July was 1.4 million. August, 1.15. So just the last 3 months on Shopify is 2.74 million, which it'll actually show you a little bit different numbers because this is now a few days after I took that screenshot, but there you go. You get the gist, okay? Very, very crazy numbers behind this brand. Anyways, let me walk you through what actually occurred this last month and what we did, because this is what I talked about we were going to do the previous month. We rebuilt the entire support system from the ground up. This was a really important thing for us. Previously, it was one virtual assistant with access to an email who's responding to customers, right? But as you grow, that's just not gonna work, okay? So now it goes to 2 people, then 3 people in an email, and now it's like, all right, we need a real system here. So now we have 20 SOPs, which are basically multiple page Google Docs, similar to what you're looking at, with screenshots of, okay, click this button. If there's this problem, go here. Send the customer this message. Every SOP, a customer does a chargeback saying their order never got delivered. What does that look like? Going through every possible situation and hiring a team of people to then execute upon that. So now we have a team of 7 people on the support staff, plus a manager for them, and all the documentation of exactly what to do in every situation, and we're always adding more to that, with a proper organizational system through Zendesk. Zendesk is a very, very large support system. It's a software that auto-assigns tickets. It allows us to better track response times for different support members, the customer satisfaction rate, which we can survey. So overall, building a much better system, and then we are implementing a live chat, which is the ultimate goal of all of this, so that customers within 60 seconds can be talking to a real person, connected, and get direct help. That's going to be a big piece that's going to just overall make us a lot of money. Honestly, it can be used as almost a sales feature, but from the customer experience perspective, which is something we focus on a lot as a company, because I don't think most companies do that, this is a big piece. So excited for live chat to be implemented here in September, but this is what we did. This was a lot of work, a lot, okay? Second big win that we had as a company was getting the shipping fees reduced. I'd been working on this for a while, but finally got a deal worked out and a new system activated. So there's different third-party carriers, and you can work out deals with USPS directly. It's pretty common if you work with a large 3PL, a third-party logistics center that actually ships out your packages. You kind of already automatically are brought into this, but we do all that ourselves outside of a warehouse that's directly next door to our manufacturing facility. Like, that's our own setup. So we had to go build all of this and set that up. But this should save us minimum $20,000 a month just based on our current sales volume on Shopify in shipping fees. So you can imagine pretty quickly, like, okay, if we're already saving $250,000 a year, that's straight to the bottom line. I mean, for a company that would sell for 6, 7, 8, 9x EBITDA, that's a very large, million, potentially multi-million-dollar move just at our current level, changing that one thing on shipping. So it's an important piece, and it'll definitely help our margin a lot. Another thing, this is an interesting conversation. I added $6,000 a month. I signed a contract for 12 months. In cost to manage our subscriptions. We used to use a different app on Shopify for our subscriptions, but as these subscriptions grow, you need to change things. We need different data, and the app just didn't offer the data that we needed. I want to be able to see LTV, churn rate, and compare that across different landing pages and take rates, and really create custom dashboards and cohorts, and I just wasn't able to get that data. And as we scale, I'm going to need it. I'll tell you about the subscription stuff in a second, but basically I brought on a large cost, which right now we're paying $0 actually for subscription stuff. We have a unique deal worked out for 3 years with a separate app. So it's actually a very large cost increase, but I think it'll make us more money, because they have all these other plugins. in-cart upsells, post-purchase upsells, all these things that not only look better and work together more natively, so it'll be a better customer experience. I think we'll actually make more money because of it. But then all the data for those things are not in separate third-party apps that we're also paying for, because now all the data goes into one spot, and that's a really big deal. So a lot of stuff there. I can make a whole separate video on data and things you need as you scale from an operations perspective. And some of this is even new to me, but this has been a large thing where it feels like I'm kind of running with blinders on. You know, when you're spending a ton of money on ads, $10,000, $20,000 a day, you need to know what the lifetime value of these customers are, especially when for supplements, a lot of people take subscriptions. I need to know those metrics. Because if somebody stays for 5 months, then cool, maybe I'm okay with losing money on the first month, but I need to be certain of those metrics to do that, right? Also did get a slight cost reduction on our primary product, which makes a big deal at the scale we're at. And we also worked out a unique line of credit deal with our manufacturer. So we have kind of a direct relationship with our manufacturer, very personal, I've known them for a long, long time, but worked out a better revolving credit system where we kind of pay as we go, and that just eases cash flow, because as you scale that quickly, you know, like this specific brand 7 months ago, like it did 60 grand in January, then 190, then 430, then 460, like it went quickly. And when you do that, yeah, you're profitable every single month, which is great. We've been profitable every month, and not a lot of supplement brands scaling that quickly can say that, especially when it's through cold traffic ads. But we're profitable, but that doesn't mean you have money. There's a big difference there, and I can elaborate on that in another video, but we talk a lot about that with our coaching group and stuff, which, by the way, real quick, for anybody who wants help on this stuff, this is what we do. This is what we're really good at. There's a couple things. You can, first of all, check out our school group. I never talk about this, but it's such an underutilized resource. We have multiple courses inside of here. How to build a supplement brand, influencer marketing. We spend 50 grand a month here. We average a really high return with this. When we were spending less money, it was a 21x return. It was crazy. Obviously, as you scale, it goes down. But all these different things on TikTok shops, if you want access to like a lot of course content, a group where you can ask questions and get answers, as well as a one-on-one call, check that out. It's 50 bucks a month. You can check it out down below. We also have a private coaching group that opens every month or two. You can apply for that and just fill out a form, and we'll chat with you there. So August details. This is for this past month. Let me break this down for you. We billed successfully $339,300. This is how much money came in from customers that bought before and took a subscription and wanted to buy again. That's crazy. So now we're like, you're talking about $4 million a year pretty much just on Shopify. We have subscriptions on Amazon as well. You know, the little subscribe and save where people can save like 10%. This is huge. This is very high margin. This is why the business becomes valuable. So we billed $339,000. The month before that was half, maybe a little less. On Meta, spent $284,000, which was down from $544,000. So a massive decrease in Meta spend, largely due to performance, due to inventory, but primarily performance. And the biggest piece of that was I was so busy with doing so much stuff, and I was still the one running it. We had a media buyer before, it didn't work out. They ran the account into the ground. I had to come in and fix it myself. So now I've actually pushed that off of me. This is a really big win for myself in the month of August. I finally got a good system in place. Hopefully they work out well, but with a media buyer that's going to be running the account. And so that should free up a lot of my time to go back and work on front-end funnels and offers and how we can actually get the ads to improve better, building better systems for our ad creatives, for an example, so that we can hopefully get performance a little bit better and then push spend right back up. Google, we had spent $58,800 this month, which was an increase from $41,000 last month. Influencer spend, big jump this month. We spent 46 grand. Last month we only spent 14. It will return down. We had one very large influencer that was almost $30,000, but we should probably spend maybe 20, 22 this coming month, and we're going to be working on slowly increasing that. We haven't been doing a ton of that. So those are just a couple of things. Amazon did 235,000, like you kind of saw when I showed you my phone at the beginning of this. And those are just the numbers from it. Again, I can break this down and show you whatever metrics you want. We could sit here all day long. I love talking about this stuff. But ultimately, like when you're growing something this quickly, like Shopify did 15 grand in January. Just think about that for a second. Like now, like I'd be genuinely super pissed if that happened in a day. Because if you look at over the last 90 days, that was just 7 months ago. Last 90 days, we haven't even gone below 20 in a day. Like this is today. So it's like, it's been very consistent. Obviously there's a lot of work to do. There's a lot of systems that need improvement, but that's some big stuff. So again, if you want help from an actual operator, fill out the form below this video. We don't have some crazy VSL and webinar and coaching thing. And no, I don't want you to build me one for the 80 people that DM me a day. We keep it very small. I work with a couple of people. We don't really work with dropshippers. It's just with people building either supplement brands, beauty brands. We help people launch a lot of really cool stuff, which was another big win. Like we helped, I think another 3 brands this last month, actually not just in the process, but like that brought their idea to life. like helping them with manufacturing in the US, formulation for their product, like putting it all together, the branding package. We have some pretty cool guarantees as well for people we work with. So check that out, it's pretty cool. Now looking ahead, this is where it gets, if you want to come back and check out the monthly updates here, looking ahead, what's going on here. Meta team running smooth. This is the goal. Now that they're kind of there, it's gonna take a couple week transition. They've been launching a lot of stuff. But if we can get them running smooth and start to increase that spend, that's gonna be a big thumbs up for me, because that's also timing it with Q4. I wanna get our spend back up for Q4, but it needs to be at a reasonable ratio, okay? Lots of front-end offer testing. This is now something I can dedicate more time to because I'm no longer in the weeds for 1 to 3 hours every other day running the ads, right? Another thing that we've been doing, and I want to do more of, is listen closely to customer feedback. This is a really big thing. Like, okay, for an example, one of our products we sell that's a supplement is gummies. We had 494 refunds or returns or replacements, basically, where we were out of pocket because of people saying that they were melted or stuck together. Now, there's a lot of reasons for that. Heat waves across the country. USPS lost some of our stuff and it was stuck in a truck outside in the heat all day. So, gets stuck together a little bit. The largest thing is because our products are natural. Like gummies stick together when they're natural. If it's artificial, pumped full of crappy chemicals, it's not gonna stick together. But there's a lot of like pros and cons. We were able to like rework formula and try to work on that. And is there something different we could do with packaging? There's a lot of stuff like that that matters. And so listening closely to customer feedback and actually paying attention to that and making changes is something that I strive to do. Scaling Amazon. This is a big piece. I'll just be transparent with you here. Amazon, if I show you this year to date, take a look where we're flat for like 6 months and now you just saw a pop up last month. That's because we didn't have inventory. We grew so fast over on Shopify, all the inventory was going there. We weren't able to manufacture the product quick enough. So Amazon took a back seat. It kept selling out. And now we're finally solved. So hopefully going to be really starting to push Amazon. I think I can really, really significantly increase it here over the next 3 to 6 months. So that's a primary focus of mine as well. And we have a full-time guy on our team that really helps with this. Actually, that's a lie. He's a full-time Amazon guy. He's part-time to us. But anyways, subscriptions are now 350,000 plus a month, which is just, that's awesome. Yeah, it's a really, really healthy ratio here on this brand. Customers like the product. Again, we're going to work on continuing to listen to feedback and find ways to improve, but that's been a big green flag for the brand. So continuing to work on that. There's a lot more to do. And then I always want to mention this. I mentioned it last one. Videos like this mean a lot to me. I could really give a shit how many views they get, but being on the other side, because this was the exact type of content that I was searching for as a 15 and 16-year-old sitting in school, hating my life, wanting to do anything but school. I just wanted to build something and like have a little bit of freedom. And that actually led to me being on the street. There was a parking garage not far from here. By choice, I spent 2 nights sleeping there because I wanted to extend my trip. I just had no money. And so I was traveling as much as I could, trying to meet people. And I'm in Miami right now, but there was a long story with how Miami, like that was my first exposure into the world of e-commerce and seeing people making money there. But ultimately, I make these types of videos because this is the type of content I was searching for when I was trying to get going. And there weren't many people who like transparently pulled back the curtains, talked about their operations, what went well, what didn't. There just wasn't a lot of raw content. I still don't think there is from actual operators who are doing it. So I promised that I would try to do as much of this as I can. So I'll make another update for next month if you want. Let me know in the comment section down below. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you're not already and check out some of our resources down below. I'll link a bunch of the other tools and softwares that we use inside the company in case you find that helpful. I used to do that in a lot of our like regular in the weeds e-commerce videos. I know we're not posting as much these days, but hey, hope you enjoyed this video. I'm gonna get back to traveling, doing work and having fun, but hope this brought you some value. Enjoy the rest of your day.